Deep inside every EUV machine, a laser fires at a droplet of molten tin, 50,000 times every second. It makes the brightest light in chipmaking, the light that draws the circuits inside your phone. And the company that builds that laser doesn't come from Silicon Valley. It cuts sheet metal. Here is the answer up front. EUV light, extreme ultraviolet, isn't emitted by a lamp or a bulb. It's blasted into existence. A droplet of molten tin falls through a chamber. A carbon dioxide laser strikes it, and the tin explodes into a plasma hotter than the surface of the sun. That plasma radiates light at 13.5 nanometers, the wavelength that draws the world's most advanced chips, and the laser doing the blasting comes from one company, TRUMPF, a family-owned firm from southwest Germany, famous for machines that cut sheet metal, working in a three-way partnership with ASML's light source division Cymer and the optics maker Zeiss. Every EUV light source ASML ships is built around TRUMPF's drive laser. Effectively, there is no second source. No TRUMPF laser, no EUV light, no advanced chips from TSMC, Samsung, or Intel. If you work in semiconductors or invest in them, subscribe. This channel maps who actually captures AI's value. Now the mechanism, because it sounds impossible. Each tin droplet is about 25 microns across, thinner than a human hair. First, a weaker pre-pulse strikes the falling droplet and flattens it into a pancake. Then the main pulse hits, and the tin explodes into plasma, radiating EUV light. 50,000 droplets every second, around the clock. The laser behind this is a monster. It starts from a seed module of roughly 100 watts, then 4 amplifier stages boost the beam more than 10,000-fold to some 40 kilowatts of infrared power by the company's own account. A single amplifier chain holds around 10,000 parts and 30 kilometers of cable, and the system has to hit a microscopic droplet, falling at speed in mid-flight, with exquisite timing, 24/7 for years, inside a machine that costs hundreds of millions of dollars. This is why nobody else builds it. It isn't one breakthrough. It's thousands of engineering problems, each solved, then welded into industrial reliability. So who is TRUMPF? Founded in 1923. Still owned by the Leibinger family, 3 generations in, not listed on any stock exchange. Its core business sounds almost boring: machine tools that cut, punch, and bend sheet metal, plus industrial lasers, where it's a world leader. In its latest fiscal year, the company reported revenue of about 4.3 billion euros, down sharply, dragged by a global manufacturing slump in its core markets. But inside those numbers sits a crown jewel the downturn barely touches: the EUV drive laser, built on 4 decades of laser know-how for the chip industry, and TRUMPF keeps tightening its grip. It acquired Access Laser, the American specialist behind the seed lasers where the whole chain begins. ASML has publicly honored it for developing the next generation of EUV lasers. Now think about what this means. One of the most critical choke points in the entire semiconductor supply chain, and you cannot buy a share of it. A monopoly with no stock price, hidden inside a family company most people have never heard of. What comes next? High-NA EUV, the next generation of lithography, is built around the same drive laser approach, and the roadmap only points one way: brighter. More light means more wafers per hour, so the pressure on laser power never stops. It also makes this company geopolitical. Reporting in 2026 points to this laser as one of the hardest obstacles for China's effort to replicate EUV. Decades of accumulated engineering that can't be bought off a shelf or reverse-engineered on a deadline. The honest risks cut the other way, too. TRUMPF's core machine tool business rides the manufacturing cycle, and that ride has been rough. And in the long run, alternative light sources, like free electron lasers, do exist, but today they live in laboratories, not in fabs. For this decade, the equation holds: the world's most advanced chips depend on one light, and that light starts with one laser. So walk the EUV chain one last time. Zeiss grinds the mirrors, Hoya polishes the mask blanks, Lasertec and KLA inspect them. Tokyo Electron coats and develops every wafer, and the light itself, the spark that starts everything, comes from a company that still cuts sheet metal in southwest Germany, a company you cannot invest in, cannot route around, and cannot replace. In this industry, the most important machines are the ones nobody ever sees. And the machine bolted to every one of those EUV scanners, that full story is on screen now.